Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Hangzhou Spark. And if you watched my previous video, which was the Houston Outlaws, you would have heard me mention that this is possibly the most confusing team I've ever seen. Oh, other than the Boston Uprising. Because look at it, it is. They- I have so many questions. Let's just start off with all the players who they kept from last year, and that is Gushwei, Architect, Shai, Leji, I think that's how you say it, or Leggy, I still don't know. I think, no wait, is it like Liege or something? I don't know. And Bernard. Those are the five players who they kept from last year. And Liege is still on a two-way contract. Like, what? uh, Confusion. So they decided to add Pineapple, Alpha Yi, Irony, and Super Rich. I'm so confused. For the former players, so I think Godspeed and Takoyaki both left mid-season, I think including MCD, who went to the Boston Uprising. IDK retired. Mika has joined a contenders team called Fantasy Gaming. Cordes has joined the LA Valiant, while Siamen Su has not joined any team. And then got actually, I'll get to the coaches later. So first off with the DPS players, so Architect Shy, Pineapple, and Alpha Yi. This might be the strongest one. Even though I feel like Architect didn't really do much last year. Shy is still cracked. Um, he impressed me a lot last year, so I'm expecting more from him. I think Pineapple and Alpha Yi, I think they both, Alpha Yi, I don't know how you say his name. I think they both came from Bilibili Gaming, and yes, they did. So they did. So both of them well. Both of them came from Bilibili Gaming. Um, okay, cool. Expected I mean, I feel like Alpha Yi or Alpha Yi. I still don't know how to say his name. I think he might actually be really good. Just something about it. I just think he's just gonna. I mean, he's obviously deflects DPS, so I think he might be just replacing Architect maybe, because if that's the case, Architect may be out maybe at the end of this year. We just have to wait and see though. But if that's the case, I think um, he might be actually like really good replacement for him. So I'm pretty excited about that. But all in all, DPS really good still. I think I guess like the only bright spot is probably Shy. Pineapple may surprise me. Architect may have an upwards trajectory from last year. But other than that, Shy is still a fight to look out for in the Hangzhou Spark. The supports, they've obviously redone everything on the supports, and they got the supports, and obviously they have redone the support lineup of Irony and Super Rich. Both of them, I think, formerly from Bilibili Gaming. No, Nemo Super Rich is from Team CC. I remember that now. Okay, like I don't know a lot about them. I don't know a lot about the Chinese region, I'll be honest. I haven't seen anything or heard anything about how good these teams are. Well, these players are, sorry, not teams. I know what the hell I'm on. But yeah, I generally have no idea about this support duo. I think I probably have heard of Super Rich before, just not Irony. It was like my first time hearing about Irony. I was like, who the hell is this? Found out he's probably Billy Gaming, and that made me realize that I've never watched any Chinese contenders, so that's fantastic. But I generally don't know what to what to say about this. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be average or good. I don't know. Like, everything about this team is confusing as hell. I mean, Hangzhou Spark is legit like the king of confusion rosters. I swear, every single roster that they announce is just confusing to me. Like, what like, like, what is like the purpose of this roster? Like, this roster is definitely not title contention. It's not. It's just a whole hump, just a whole bunch of players just being smushed together like mashed potatoes. Like, I don't understand this roster as a whole. Either way. So I move on to the tanks before I go on a tangent about this roster still. The tanks are exactly the same, and they're going to be mediocre, if not just solid mid, in the APAC region. So they kept Gooseray, just like I said, Leggy or Liege, I don't know, and Bernard. I don't know why the hell they kept Liege, even though I swear he didn't play like any maps, and thought he, I generally thought he actually left the team. But I mean, I like it's not so confusing. Like, it's, I this is just this Rust as a whole. It's just making my brain hurt. So just how stupid it is. Like right now, as I'm looking at it, it just like I said, it looks like a voodoo doll. It just seems it just being stitched together. That's all. Not like carefully, but just like smacked all over the place, and they just put like a bunch of pieces together, and it just somehow works even. But this is just not gonna work. It's really, really not. It's just not gonna work at all. But I just don't. I just don't understand it. Like oh, this Ross is pissing me off. Anyways, let's now move on to the coaches before I get even more pissed off about that. And they've also redone their whole coaching staff. So they used to have uh the the coaching lineup for last year was an absolute fucking mess because they had Pagion, I think. Did they? Yeah, I think no. So they had Pagion for a bit, and then they had a Dante as the interim head coach. Like he wasn't actually the actual head coach. He was just there just to fill in as the head coach. So basically, they didn't have an actual head coach for the whole season, which pisses me off even more. Like, how can you not get a freaking head coach for the season? Like you needed an interim head coach. This team pisses me off. It's weird because like also Dante joined the team in 2020, right? For the 2021 season, instead of Pagion. Pagion left to join T1. I think it's probably also some like internal conflict as well. Noru also left as well. Mentilis also left and retired, and then I think Dante was originally the assistant coach, and then he was called up to be intern head coach. Like this team doesn't make any freaking sense at all. I swear. I'm molding this team. Anyways, the actual coaching lineup we got Changong, who's the head coach, Miro, and Neko. As much as I love this as much as I love this coaching stuff, I don't know if this is gonna work. I mean, Changong, formerly from the Soul Dynasty, I don't know if that's gonna work. Um, but just how are they supposed to coach this team? I'm sorry, but if they like somehow make it to playoffs, I think the coaching staff should like be given like their own category of just amazing because it would take a miracle for them to coach this roster to become really, really good. I just don't see how like, like whatever. It's this whole team has just made me speechless of how stupid this is. I'll show you how stupid this is. In my opinion, okay, this is all in my freaking opinion. So I think the DPS is definitely the strongest with an 8. I think DPS definitely the strongest one with an 8. I think that's only because of this guy, Shy. That's the only reason why it's an 8. Um, that looks like an R actually. Whatever. If Shy was gone, I would have put it as a 6. That's how horrible I think this DPS lineup is. Balfi may surprise me. Pineapple may also surprise me. So we just have to wait and see. Support. I think support is the weakest one, and I'm going to give them a 6. I think compared to like the other APAC teams, because APAC is the strongest region, this support duo is not gonna work at all. I'm sorry to say this. I've been incredibly positive. I've tried to be positive about this team. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like Shy, like it's like oh yeah, like Shy is going to like carry them or like like be really good or Yafi may surprise me or the support duo may surprise me. I don't even like freaking like the tanks may freaking do something, but this team just doesn't work. They've tried this for so long and it just doesn't fucking work and it pisses me off every time. Anyways, so 6 out of 10 for the support and tanks, I'm just gonna give them a 7. This team just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It hurts my brain by just looking at this roster because Gushui, like who, like I, I guess like you can maybe say Bernard is probably gonna be the starting tank player, but then you also have Gushui, which I swear he could be a lot more useful on another frickin' team. He's been with the team for a very long time. I'm surprised he hasn't like left the team at all. I'm really surprised about that. I would have thought like probably by now he would have left the team and go join I don't know, maybe like the Guangzhou Charge or something. Just okay, nah, I don't care. This roster just pisses me off every time. Oh my god. Like the amount of molding that I'm currently having right now by just looking at this is just unbearable. Also, Jagui also left recently, so that's fun. As for the coach, I'm just gonna. I mean, they're definitely mid-pack. I'm probably gonna give them a 7. That's a terrible 7. There we go, 7. 7 for coach. I just like I said, they need a miracle for this team to work. They really do, because this thing is not gonna work. I'm just gonna say that. Like, what confuses me the most is do they, like, apparently, I mean, I know like in past rosters, I think they mainly speak in English. They spoke in English. That's how they communicated. So, are they gonna communicate in English, or are they gonna communicate Korean or Chinese? How are they gonna communicate? Because you need communication. And having Chinese, I mean, obviously it has worked. Chinese and Korean players in the same roster. I mean, it's worked for a bit for the Guangzhou Charge for a bit. This just this roster. I have to watch them as well because I'm in the APAC region. I'm in Australia, so I can actually watch this team go and I can mold because I don't have any high hopes for this team. I really don't. I think that I think they're going to be battling for last place against the LA Valiant. I really do think so. This team looks horrible. I'm just going to say that. The first team, which I think is going to do terrible this season. Lovely. But that is really it about it. But that's really about it for me. So the next one is the Vancouver Titans, and I mean, I feel like they're going to be better than last year. I'll give you that. So there's some positivity there, but mainly some negatives as well for the Titans. But that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.